welcome to the video lessons for section 1.1. The first thing that we want to talk about here is place value. Now I've written over here on the board a number 273,569. Now this digit 9 is in the ones column, 6 is in the tens column, 5 is in the hundreds column. This is the thousands, here is the 10,000s, and here is the 100,000s column. So we read this number 273,569. So 273,000, 569. That's the way we read that number. Now what we want to do is go to the board next and look at some other numbers, a little bit larger number, and see what place values they have. Problem number 1, written here, name the place value of each digit, and here's our number. So starting over here on the right, we have the ones column, tens column, hundreds column. Now this is the thousands group, so we have thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. Now this is the millions group, so we have millions, 10 millions, 100 millions. And this is the billions group, so we have billions, 10 billions, 100 billions. So we'd say 234,345,678,789. And that's the way that we would read that number if we were to read it in words. So again, here is the ones, tens, hundreds columns, and then we have the thousands groups, and they go thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, so that's the millions, 10 millions, 100 millions, and then the billions group, and here I have the billions, the place value of this digit is the billions column. Here is 10 billions, and here is 100 billions. So 234,345,678,789. All right, let's take a look at our next problem. I've written here, write an expanded form, and first I have the number 32,674. So I'm going to use that idea of place value to write this in expanded form this way. I have 30,000 plus 2,000 plus 600 plus 70 plus 4. So writing this number 32,674 in expanded form like this, what we have is sort of the meaning of the number, 30,000 plus 2,000 plus 600 plus 70 plus 4, and that will help us out later on when we look at addition and subtraction, multiplication and division for whole numbers. Here's our next example. We want to write this number, 3,004,008, in expanded form. So I'm going to write this as 3 million plus, now I'll skip these two place values right here because I have 0 of them, to 4,000 plus, and here I have 8. So in expanded form, this number right here looks like 3 million plus 4,000 plus 8. And isn't that the same as 3,004,008? Let's look at our next example. I've written here, write in words, and I have the number 573. So 3 in the ones column, 7 in the tens column, 5 in the hundreds column. So I would write this as 573. And notice I have a hyphen here between the 70 and the 3. So for all these numbers right here, I'm going to use a hyphen. 573. Now, our next number is 23,540. Let's write that in not in expanded form, but in words. I have 23,000, so I'm going to say 20 hyphen 3,000. And then I put a comma in the number written in words in the same position that the comma is in the number written with digits. So 23,540. So I have 23,000, 540, and that's this number right here written in words. Let's take a look at our next example. Number 6, I have this number right here. Let's see, I have thousands, millions, billions column. So it's going to be 5 billion. Here I have 3 million. here I have 40,000, and here I have 8. So let's write this as 5 billion, comma, because there's a comma there, 3 million, comma, okay, 3 million, here I have 40,000, comma, 8. Now, you want to be careful that you don't write 5 million, or 5 billion, 3 million, 40,000, and 8, because we're going to use that number, that word "and" later on when we work with decimal numbers. So the correct way to do this is 5 billion, 3 million, 40,000, 8, period. Let's look at our next example. For problem number 7, we have down here write with digits, and the number is 2,002,200. So I want to write here 2 million. Now 2,000, so 002, comma, 200. So there's 200. So I've written this number in symbols or with digits, and I have 2,002,200. So that's a look at writing these numbers with digits. And it's sort of a look at place value for numbers and naming numbers, writing numbers in expanded form, and also then writing numbers in words.